Hey, what's up, everyone? Mark Price here, and today we are going to do part 3 of the email automation series. I'm going to finish working on a portion of the campaign. I'm going to continue working on this campaign. Maybe we'll finish, maybe we won't. I don't know at this point. This is not rehearsed. Okay, I'm going to use my real brain with my real skills, and you're going to see it all uncut. This is the unrated version of Mark Price. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. So what we're going to do, let's go to Active Campaign. Okay, we're going to go to Automations. And what do we got here? We've got our App Marketing Email Bootcamp, which is what I want. Okay, so email. So we did the first. So what we did last time was we did the initial email that we're going to send to try and get people to sign up, and then the week 1 email. So we can take a look at that here. How should I monetize my app? I'm just reminding myself, I did this video like last week, so I want to just make sure I'm up to speed here. You have an app idea, you're ready to start writing code, stop, you need to think about how you're going to make money. Great. And some articles. I know we linked those articles there. We got a nice little chart here, which was actually very useful. I used that in a different broadcast, so it's something I would actually use. Choose your monetization strategy. And then we got some homework here and the nice quote here at the bottom. I actually really like this a lot. So let's go ahead and do email. So that's email number 1. We need to do emails number 2 and 3 here. Okay, so let's go into email number 2. And I don't like it. Can we delete this? You know what? Let's do this. Let's add send email. It's not going to let us. Oh, here it is. My bad. Create new email. I wonder if we can do that with this one here. So if I click this, there we go. Create new email. Email name, okay, is going to be App Marketing Bootcamp Week 2. Yep, second week. And we're going to want to use a past campaign. And this one right here, we're going to use the same exact design, keep it consistent. Okay, so App Marketing Bootcamp Week 2. And so let's think about this for a second here. In week 1, we talked about you got to monetize your apps. How should you monetize your apps? Some things to start thinking about. Do you use a subscription? Do you use an upfront price? I'm really liking where this is going. What else could people find valuable for their app development? Okay, so we've talked about pricing, but how about how you actually? Well, let's leave. I want to talk about marketing, but let's do it in the third email. How about in the second email, we talk about user satisfaction, keeping users in your app, user retention. So this one's about user retention. So let's call this focus on user retention. It's pointless to focus on marketing if you don't have an app that will keep users using it. Why spend money to market? Why spend effort getting new users if they won't stick around? Okay, I like this. So they won't stick around. Some questions to ask yourself. I like this. Some questions to ask yourself. What will keep the users coming back for more? How can I create a delightful user experience? What other questions are important? So users coming back to the app. How do I create a delightful user experience when they're in the app? How do they feel? Are they feeling happy? How can I offer value? How can I offer value as well? Value that leads. How can I offer value that leads to upsells? That's a really good question. So I want to offer value to my users, but I want that to eventually lead to more upsells. I want them to keep spending money. Otherwise, I'm not doing anything important, or my app's not succeeding. How can I offer value that leads to upsells? I like that. I like that a lot. So why am I doing this as part of the second email? Well, the first email was just about pricing. How do we figure that out? What do you want to do? And the second was how are we actually going to keep people in the app? So now that we've thought about a little bit about pricing, how do we create an experience that's going to keep people in the app so those pricing actually makes sense and it actually works? So that leads to upsells. Yeah, I don't know how I would like the wording on that, but that's okay. So let's go to Google. So user retention in apps. Improve user retention. What's a good retention rate? Oh, this is a more recent one in March 29th. So Localytics, some type of analytics company. Again, I always like to check and make sure that it's a legitimate company doing legitimate things and not just, I just want to make sure they know what they're doing. They claim they've worked with these people here. The website looks pretty reasonable, like they know what they're doing. Email pop-up. Okay. Let's face it, mobile marketers, we're going through some growing pains. Shift the focus away from acquisition to retention. This is really cool. If you've been on the App Store for a few years, you know that acquisition was once considered the most important aspect. People didn't take into account. 25% was using an app once. Retention rate benchmarks, where do you stand? I really like this. 12 user retention and churn. Average retention, average churn. Across all industries, 75% of all users churn within 90 days. If we take a deeper dive look at the industry, it doesn't get much better. Okay, media entertainment, 1 month. I like this chart a lot. I think I'll put that in the email from Localytics. This is a really, really good way. A really good article, excuse me. I like this a lot. In fact, I may read this later. Shifting the focus away. Okay, so what I want to call this is 8 ways to improve your retention rate. That's what I'm going to call it. So I'm going to copy this link. Okay, I'm going to delete this. 8 ways to improve your retention rate. Retention rate. I like that a lot. Okay. So let's add the URL, add an action. I want to add a tag. We're going to call this week 2 retention article. Week 2 retention article. And let's look for another success story. How I improved app retention rate. I don't know what I'm going to find. Maybe there's a story on this. How to grow your mobile app retention. Improve your app retention rate. User engagement. Here's how to improve it. Let's see if there's anything in the last year. I'm just curious. How to grow mobile app retention. A deeper look at benchmarks. App retention success stories. Someone else is searching for that too. Apps Flyer. Oh, mobile marketing success stories. Let's take a look at this. See if there's one that fits the bill here. Okay. So, top grossing in free games. Improving the customer journey with mobile attribution and marketing analytics. Instagram insights. Managing explosive growth. No. An essential part. Driving omnichannel e-commerce performance. Rising to the top mobile attribution. No. Letting data guide your growth. Remarkable gaming app growth at scale driven by mobile. This is a cool website. They got some really good stuff here. Improving retention and user value with smarter mobile marketing. Let's take a look at this. So, 2 widely popular games, Monster Drive Revolution, a role-playing game. Challenge, they want an in-house analytics system. Furthermore, they upgraded to Apps Flyer. This is clearly an upsell website, but I'm curious if there's actual data in here. Middleman, results. Okay, guys, this is terrible. You guys don't even have real. Increase mobile rates. Creating a successful mobile app. 3 founders spill the beans. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Okay, they're telling the story. I just want to see if it talks about user retention. Let's say search, command find, retain. It's not always smooth selling. Approach people who do. Our first development team. The role of developers more open now. All 3 creators. People think a lot of the game is downloads. Downloads can be great for investors, but what you really want is active users. 3 biggest tips. Okay. From the very start, don't be afraid to talk about your idea. The reality is founders are great. Okay. I'm not really impressed with this article. Case studies and success stories. App retention success story. Let's take a look here. I'm not sure I'm going to find the success story I'm looking for. Social apps, apart from utilities. Okay, you know what? I do like this article, but we're not going to do a story. We're just going to do the article. So what makes a good retention rate? So we're going to say, read this article. Okay. And what makes a good retention rate? I spelled the retention wrong again and again. Okay. Put this right here. I like it. Let's add a tag. We're going to call this week 2, article 2. Okay, week 2, article 2. I want to replace this image with the one I got from the desktop here. So add a new image. So some of you might be thinking like, well, Mark, that's not very much value. You're just adding a couple links in an email, right? Whoop-de-doo. I watched you. This is like watching a magician explain his tricks. And then when you watch it, you're like, oh, that's lame. Like anybody could do that, right? But before the magician showed you what he did, it was really cool. And it's the same thing. People, I'm looking for my image here. I don't see it. There it is. People, they want things spoon-fed to them. I'm giving actually great value here. Even though it's 2 links, I spent the time to find this article, and guess what? It's coming right to their inbox. So they didn't have to go out and do this work. They got a nicely packaged bit of information from a professional, me, right into their inbox to tell them, hey, you should read these articles. I think it's going to help you out. And they're going to feel immense value. Okay, immense value. So if you're thinking this is pathetic or lame, you should give yourself and give me more credit than that, because it's actually incredibly valuable. That's my point. Okay, so 3-month user retention, media entertainment. Okay, this cool little chart here. Choose your monetization strategy. So I'm going to say, how will you retain users? Make a plan to retain users. This might mean you need to create a list of features that will get users coming back into your app. And once inside, you want them to spend more time. And once inside, you want them to spend as much time in the app, as possible. So homework, okay? What we're going to say is design 3 features that will cause a user to open your app again. Design 3 features that will cause a user to open your app again. Create or design one feature that will increase the amount of time a user spends in your app. So how will you retain users? Make a plan to retain users. This might mean you need to create a list of features that will get users coming back into your app. And once inside, you want them to spend as much time in the app as possible. Homework. Design 3 features that will cause a user to open your app again. Design one feature that will increase the amount of time a user spends in your app. I like this a lot. And then another quote. Remember that having an app is really being a business owner. You need to think about long-term growth and user satisfaction, not hoping on overnight success. Well, what kind of advice could I give you, the person who this email is going to, about retaining users? Okay, so I have something I think. So, gone are the days of one hit wonders on the App Store. You should focus intensely. You should focus intensely on creating many small moments in your app that will delight your users and get them begging for more. Don't focus on the sell, focus on the experience. Gone are the days of one-hit wonders on the App Store. You should focus intensely on creating many small moments in your app that will delight your users and get them begging for more. Don't focus on the sell, focus on the experience. I sound pretty wise, don't I? It's true. I'm not making any stuff up. This is all real stuff coming out of my head, and I believe it, and that's what we're doing at DevSlope. So focus on user retention. I'm really liking this. Okay, now we need the upsell now. Okay, I told you in emails 2 and 3, we're gonna do an upsell. So let's go to Patreon here. Just make sure I get the correct address here. Copy this, and what I want to do is maybe create another little text block here. We'll just duplicate this. All right. Okay, and get rid of this title. If you want more personalized app marketing advice and other growth hacking tips, visit my exclusive members only. What did I call? I can't remember what I called it. Apprepreneurs Club. Let me just copy this here because I can't remember how to spell it. Visit my exclusive members only. Oh man, it copied over the highlighting or the font and stuff. Apprepreneurs. There we go. Okay, now it's gone. So visit my exclusive members only. Apprepreneurs Club. Yeah. If you want more personalized app marketing advice and other growth hacking tips, click here to visit. There's actually something really important that you should know. The words "click here" will increase your conversion significantly. I don't want to throw out random numbers because I don't know the numbers, but I do know that for a fact that the words "click here" will significantly increase the clicks that you get. So it's a little trick there. You don't want to sound too spammy, but that's not too bad. So add an action, and I'm going to say add tag week 2 clicked Patreon, click here. Okay, and same thing here, members only, Apprepreneurs Club, and I'm going to put the link here as well too. There's already a link action set for this URL in this message. Changing the action here, link action set. Okay, then I won't change anything. Okay, that's fine. If you want more personalized app marketing advice and other growth hacking tips, click here to visit my exclusive members only Apprepreneurs Club. I like that. And you know, I'll put the link here too. Okay, let's do a final check here. Focus on user retention. It's pointless to focus on marketing if you don't have an app that will keep users using it. Why spend effort getting new users if they won't stick around? Some questions to ask yourself. What will keep the users coming back for more? How can I create a delightful user experience? How can I offer value that leads to an upsell? I like that. Read this article, 8 ways to improve your retention rate. Read this article, what makes a good retention rate? I like this. How will you retain users? Homework, design 3 features. This is really good. I like this. This is fun, guys. This is really fun. I'm going to click next. I love doing this kind of stuff. Okay. I clicked next, waiting for it to think. App Marketing Bootcamp Week 2. I love it. And I just want to send a test real quick. That's fine. So we'll send a test here. Yeah. And what I want to do is just pull up my Gmail, make sure it came in, which it did. App Marketing Bootcamp Week 2 looks good. And let me just put this over here. Display my images. Speed is only useful in the right direction. I like it. That should be Patreon, of course, right? Yep. I always test my links, always. Read this article, 8 ways to improve your retention rate. Mobile apps, what's a good retention rate? Okay, this is definitely working. And then this one. Of course, every time I click this, it's adding a tag to me, so I know who's been clicking what, which is awesome. So I can make educated decisions. It's also, like, for instance, if no one ever clicked the second link, why? Is it my title wrong? What's going on? Are they getting too bored with the first one? That's good information to know. Click here to visit my exclusive members only club for apptrepreneurs. Make sure both these links work. I like it. And then just read this quote again. Gone are the days of one-hit wonders on the App Store. You should focus intensely on creating many small moments in your app that will delight your users and get them begging for more. Don't focus on the sell. Focus on the experience. Yeah. This is really good. This is really, really good. So as you can see, some of the points from this is we did a minor upsell, okay? And I'll do that exact same upsell again, maybe with some slightly different wordings in the next email, and then we'll do the final big call to action. So I'm going to finish here, and there we go. So that email is done. So we wait for 1 week, and then we send week 2. Okay, I'm going to call this video done. It went kind of long. And then we'll continue on in the next section. But lots of good stuff here. Get your campaigns in this kind of direction, and we'll see you soon.